Hey everybody, welcome to the 2.5 video, Measures of the Center of the Data. In this video, we're going to be talking about mean, median, mode, and when is it best to use one or the other, one over the other. So, to find the center of the data, mainly two ways to do it. We have the mean and the median. So the mean weight is when we add all 50 weights together and divide by 50. The median is when we put them all in order and find the one right down the middle. And if it's between two pieces right down the middle, we need to take the average of the two. And so mean and average here are oftentimes used interchangeably. And it's kind of common practice to think about them as the same, but they're definitely a lot different. And mean is better when our data is all clustered together, and the median is better when the data is further spread apart. Then we can find that one right down the middle. So if we're looking at like house values or income levels, by using the median, we look at the middle number and it ignores those big outliers on the end. Okay, so sample mean, X with a bar over the top, stands for our sample mean, and that's the mean that we've been looking at. The population mean is with a mu. It's a Greek letter, and it's pronounced mu. And that's when we're looking at a group population. And one of the requirements for a sample mean to be a good estimate of the population mean is for the sample to be taken completely random. So sample mean is when we're taking something like a smaller group. Population is when we're taking the whole thing. Okay. Here we're talking a little bit about the median. If it's an odd number, it's just the value right in the middle. If it's an even number, to find the median, we order them from smallest to biggest, and we get it between the two values, and we average them. And uppercase M is oftentimes used to represent the median. To be honest, I don't see that too often, though. So here's some work showing how to find the mean. We add them all together, then divide by how many values there are. Notice if there's like two 16s, instead of taking 16 plus 16, they just take 16 multiplied by 2, because repeated addition is multiplication. To find the median, here they're putting the numbers in order from smallest to largest. And we had 40 pieces of data. So if we take 40 plus 1 divided by 2, it's going to be the 20 and a half piece. And then we go and locate the 20, it's between the 20 and the 21st value. So between the two 24s. And so then we average two 24s down here. Well, you don't really need to average two 24s. So here's how to do it on the calculator. We're going to use Google Sheets though, instead of the graphing calculator. I'll go to that in just a moment. The mode is the data value that occurs the most often. And if there's a tie, sometimes there's two modes. It's called bimodal. Okay, so we've worked on mode before. So here's some more examples. I'll go to our examples next. Here's a really good example of why, explaining kind of why the median is better than the mean. So in a sample of 60 households, one house is worth 2.5 million. Half of the rest are worth 280,000. All the others are worth 315. So to find out what's the better measure of the center, the mean or the median, we would want to use the median, because the mean would bring this house into play. And that house is obviously not related to our other houses, and we really wouldn't want to count it in terms of finding the center of our data. But here we have some scores, 5 credit scores. And this data, okay, so here they have some answers. And the median is 50,000, the mean is 47,500. Oh, wait. Consider the annual earnings of workers at a factory. Oh, two problems. But basically, when the data is clustered together, we want then the mean, not the median, the mean, the average is just fine. It's a better way to find the center of our data. Okay. And then group data, we'll get to that in just a little bit. I'll talk about this midpoint on our example. And there we go. So we're going to look at this example on our Google Sheet. So that's where I will head now. So here we have some data, and we've worked on this before. Remember, to find the mean, we type in average. We go to our data set. We can label this mean. median mode. So I'll just show this again. We type in median, go to our column, hit enter. For the mode, we go here. Straightforward, it's nice, it does it all for us. Down here, we have hours teenagers spend on video games and number of teenagers. So this is we have a frequency table, because this is the frequency, and we have a range of values over here. So to find the mean and median for this, well, we can see the mode, the most common is right here between 7.5 and 11.5. But it's kind of hard when we have a range of values. So to do this, what we're going to do is find the midpoint. To get the midpoint, what we're going to do is take the average between these two numbers, so 0 and 3.5. So to find the average of the two numbers, we take them and we add them together. Then we cut it in half, so divide that by 2. 1.75. And that is going to be my midpoint. 3.5 and 7.5, I go between those. Oops. 2. All right, 5.5. Could probably do this in our head even. 7.5 and 11.5. What's that? 19. Half of 19 is 9.5. Is 11.5, 15.5. What's that? 27. So 13.5. And I can see how this pattern is going up by, I can just highlight this and extend that pattern. It's going up by 4 each time. So there's the midpoint. There's the frequency. So instead of writing out this data set, we would have a 1.75, another 1.75, another 1.75, and then a bunch of 5.5s. Instead of writing this data set out like that, that's really tedious. What we want to do is add up all those numbers. Remember, repeated addition is multiplication. So I'm going to take the frequency and multiply it by the midpoint. So I can write an equation here. I can take this frequency, then hit Shift 8 to get that asterisk, multiply it right there. And I can scroll that down. It's going to fill in all those spaces for me. So here, this will take F17, so the frequency of 7, and multiplies it by G17. That's going to multiply those together, and that's going to be all of our values. Down here, I can write sum. I'm going to write an equation, so it equals sum. And I want to find the sum of this. And look at this, Google Sheets is so slick. It knows where it thinks I want to go right above it. So I could click on that, or I could just show you how to do it here. You just highlight those and hit enter. So it adds all those up. Next, I want to find out how many, sum of frequency, find out how many pieces of data there are, equals sum. Add up all those numbers. So there we go. The total is 409. And so I can take this total divided by the total number of numbers. It calculates my average for me, 10.78. So super slick, and that's how we find the average on a frequency table with a range of data. All right, and yeah, I guess we could look at the median here. Since we have 38 data values, this would be split up into 19 and 19. So we would need to find the 19th piece of data, since we'd have 19 in each category. So there's 3 and 7, 10. So the 19th piece and 20th piece would land somewhere in here. So our mean would be this number, but the median would be somewhere in the range of 7.5 to 11.5. We're not sure where exactly that would be in there, so we'd have to write a range of numbers. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.